Alrighty folks, Easy Amateur Radio here, and what you see today in my hands is the Yaesu FT3D. I also recommend the FT5D, and that's just going to be kind of talking about this radio today and the reason I recommend it. I think this is the best radio on the market, along with the 5D. You can find a 3D on the used market, or you can still buy the 5D new. From what I understand, is the difference between them is Yaesu ran out of some parts during COVID-19 and had to swap to the 5D because they couldn't source parts for the 3D. Now, when I refer to on the market with the 3D, I mean on the secondary market, and on the 5D, I mean actively being able to buy it in 2025. So right here, like I said, we have the Yaesu 3D. We're going to do a little bit of walk around the menu and walk around the radio, and I'm going to tell you why I think this is the best radio for a ham who wants a higher quality radio but doesn't want to drop $700, $800 on a handheld. And this is why I think this is the best all-around radio you can get. So I'd like to start with one thing on the side is an SD card and a data cable. But the SD card, you can program it on the computer, slap the SD card in there, and program it, no cable needed. That's a feature that I really like and that I really value. This also does Yaesu's digital mode, Yaesu System Fusion. And we'll go to the menu and kind of look around here. So one thing that you notice is it also does Wires X, but this one's really important to some people, APRS. Now you can send and receive messages on this radio, but it is impossibly hard to type out messages. It's possible, but it's very hard using these knobs. Now, what you can also do with this radio is it's 5 watts, so that's typical repeater functions. 5 watts with a good antenna will usually get you where you need to go, and what can be expected with a handheld. Now you can see right here it's got a GPS unit built in it. If you're looking to smart beacon with APRS to beacon out your location, I recommend that, or just beaconing out APRS at standard intervals. Now, why I like smart beaconing is because you can throw this in your car if you're going on a trip, if you're driving solo, or even with a family, but you still want somebody to be able to see your beacon, hear your beacon. You can put this in a mag mount on top of the car, and then you can have a portable tracker that beacons at respective intervals on how fast you're going. The faster you're going, the more frequently this radio is going to transmit. That's one thing that I really like about this radio. Now, it's not full duplex. It doesn't have a built-in KISS TNC, but it's a very solid build. The battery on it is actually pretty good. It fits with most of the mid-tier Yaesu HTs that are on the market today. It's good. One thing about it, you might be able to do this, but I couldn't figure it out. It is a touchscreen. I couldn't figure it out. But turning these beeps off, I find is can be very frustrating. The mode that I found is only high volume or low volume. I don't like my HTs to make any sound if I can help it. But that's one thing that I would change on this radio. Another thing I would like to see on the more modern FT5D is USB-C charging. I feel like that's needed, but you can get USB-C batteries from what I understand. Don't quote me on that. And to take this off, you just pop the battery off. This right here is where you Mars mod this radio. I did it this morning in about 10 minutes. You just pull that little resistor, that little component off. You can do it with a pair of tweezers. You don't even need a soldering iron. Push that back on there so it maintains the waterproof or the water resistant seal. Pop the battery back in. One thing I don't like about this is that the belt clip rides along the battery. I'm not a big fan of that, but I can get over it. I don't belt clip HTs very often. If I do carry an HT, I just belt clip it to my pocket or something, not really to my belt. That's not my style, but there you go. That's the Yaesu FT3D and why I think it might be the best radio on the market for somebody looking for a mid-tier radio that does things that just a regular analog radio doesn't. 73 guys, I'm not an HT expert, but I do like this little dude. So 73s, from Easy Amateur Radio.